There we go. Okay, so random video time, because my nan likes seeing these. This is a mess of the garage at the moment. All that wood's still the wood from the windows. Not had the time to get through, which is going to be tomorrow's job, getting it all out, clearing it out. The reason I'm actually making this is because everything is in bloom around here. We're essentially in summer. Past 2 weeks we've been over 20 degrees every day in the shade, and a funny thing being that the weather's not reporting that. The weather forecast, there was a bit of a laugh today at work because the weather forecast was for 17 degrees and it said live that it was 17 degrees in Savellina, and we all turned to look at the outside thermometer that's in the shade, which was 22. So this is our garden in full bloom, or at least the beginning of it. It's a lovely house. I'll go this way just for a second. The reason there's a piece of wood in front of the door is because the rabbits are running about inside. But we're in the process of tidying at the moment. But there's the first 2 batches of alcohol on. So the grass is growing at a ridiculous rate in our garden. Our rabbits are penned in at the moment. Or, I say our rabbits, 3 in the house and 2 out here. And at the moment they're munching on all the grass trimmings. And they're in there at the evening, they get put back in the hutch at night. When we come home from work we let them actually run the full garden. And we very seldom have to chase after them. He says having to get Lucy out from under here, under the sauna yesterday. But this is a sauna. I don't think I've actually put this on a video yet, so it needs a bit of work. It's a working sauna at the moment, but it does need a little bit of work to look prettier. It's quite dark inside, but it is a working sauna. The one in the house is gorgeous, this one's just a basic one. And along here we have a rickety storeroom with lots of windows. The old windows from the house, from 2 sets of windows ago. There's our well, one of our composters, and that's all the pile of spare timber and things that we've had more recently. There's 2 walls amongst that. And in here is another room that's being used as storage at the moment. My lovely kite. These are all spare windows, and that's part of the floor from in the sauna. We took it up for the moment while we're cleaning it. But yeah, all sorts of stuff. It's a whole load of foam that was used as mattresses in the outside room thing, whatever you call it. And this is the log shed, which I've shown before, but we're actually dropping this. So my mum will probably see this, but by the time anybody else comes across, that'll be gone, and there'll be a chicken coop in its place. We actually need to, the foundation here is sliding, as you can see by the window. We knew about this when we bought the house, but I've got a structural beam that I'm going to put under there and jack up the building. See what happens. This is our little outdoor kitchen. The fire still needs a bit of work, but we've had some food here quite a few times. It's quite nice. This is the bottom of the garden. All the willows in bloom, that's worrying. We actually have to cut down a lot of this. We munched a whole load of it last year, but we need to get more down. I've got to get the lawnmower up and running. It works, but the deck needs more work. This is the beginning of our garden. These little pallet boxes, they drop them onto pallets here for all sorts of stuff. You get them in a couple of different sizes, but they're dirt cheap, so we managed to pick up a few. I've got 3 per thing. and they're filled with a whole load of rubbish. They're filled with a mixture of soil and horse dung. So they're all growing up. We're going to get stuff planted in them quite soon. But the funny thing is that although we're going above 20 degrees, it's actually dropping to just above freezing at night. And some of the stuff gets funny. At that cool, we don't want anything to get frostbitten, so we're leaving it. I think maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend we'll start planting. Or Anna will start planting. One of our many berry bushes. I have no idea what berries they are. I think this one's blackcurrant. We have blackcurrants, red currants. I think we have brambles. It's one of our apple trees. I haven't got the foggiest what the rest of the stuff is. That is a giant rose bush which is coming out. This is a little lodge which we're in the process of doing up and gutting out. And as you can see, it's a frying pan, or dartboard that we got just for excrement and giggles. This is what it looks like. That table is just, it was one that I got for the house originally, but it's massive. So we don't know whether we're keeping it or selling it. And actually in the trailer at the moment we have a weird couch bed for in there. It's pretty impressive. So that'll actually be out for when my mum comes across, if she chooses to stay out here. It's warm enough at the moment. And as you can tell by the lack of cars, after 6 o'clock at night you get one car every hour or so. After that, the only thing you get is a log truck every once in a while, but the log trucks don't run on the weekends. So it is quiet as a grave out here. This is what's left of the tree that I downed. The reason I downed it is because power line. It was skipping the power line. So out it came. Beautiful hinged cut. It's quite funny, we have a lot of mozzies here at the moment, but man, it's now compared to Scotland. But yeah, this is what we've got. If anybody's seen the video that I did last year with the tractor going through a whole load of trees, big tractor going through a whole load of trees, this is what's left of it when his lawnmower went over the top. An amazing thing. Yeah, this is grass. This is all actually quite amazing because when we got here, the grass and the weeds all in this area were as tall as the trees pretty much all the way through. We didn't know there was as many Christmas trees as we had until we cut it down. But it looks phenomenal. And that is our sunset, and has been for the past week. And red sky at night is absolute rubbish because it's been gorgeous every night and it's been gorgeous every morning. And the drive I've got into work, drive back into Savellina from Sulkava, is 40 kilometres, 28 miles. And there's two rivers that cross over on the way in, and they are phenomenal. Just a view, you just want to stop and look at them. Funnily enough, half the time these days I drive straight over the top and I get to work going, how did I do that drive? Just found a piece of roofing felt. I have no idea where it came from, which is curious. But yeah, so this is life out here. Because everything's starting to bloom, and I thought I'd take this little movie and show you what it's like, because it's gorgeous. Generally, I'd say to anybody come and live in Finland, this is absolutely amazing. Your tax rate is a little bit higher, but not much. Some things are more expensive, some things are dirt cheap. And tools and hardware and all your manly stuff is cheaper than you would pay in Britain, unless you get into the power tools thing. But everything is supplied. For my friends at work at Colamendy, anything that's considered bushcraft you can get in damn near every shop here. It is amazing. And as I said before, I've got just over a kilometre straight this way to the river. There's actually driving access just up the road, but I've never driven to it. I've walked to it a few times, but I've never driven to it. And the fishing is ridiculously easy here. I'm waiting to get my licence sorted, because everything here is by the book. But I'm waiting to get my licence sorted. I've been fishing with the guys a few times. Well, I've been fishing with the guys twice now. But it's grand. So, and the wildlife is quite funny. We have a couple of hares, we have a couple of foxes, mosquitoes biting me, that's why the camera's wobbling. Doesn't bother me, but I hate the buzzing by me ears. And the funny thing is that there's somebody over that way's got dogs. You hear them barking in the distance, but I am almost positive that in the other direction occasionally we hear wolves. There was a wolf pack that was seen up by Rantasalmi, which is the next district up pretty much, which is about 40 kilometres away, and wolves can have a run over 60, 70, sometimes 100 miles. So I'm secretly hoping, because I'd quite like to see a wolf. I'd go darting back in the house, but I'd still quite like to see a wolf. But yeah, we've seen a couple of moose. Birds of prey around here are amazing. I don't know where they all are. I know there's one falcon, I can identify them. And we've got a couple of owls that I don't recognise. But there's a few others that I just don't recognise, but they look amazing. I think there's a buzzard. Whenever he's out, the rabbits go bolting back in, so must be a buzzard. But so in the house at the moment, excuse the mess. Obviously, the alcohol is brewing. It's only been on for about half an hour. It's the little mama. This be the giant bunny with the oh so smiley face. And then these are the other demijohns to be filled. My sweet little glass keg. Random YouTube things. I have no idea where Flop is. We're missing a bunny. He's wandering about somewhere. Hey, little mama. Look. There's Flop. And the lovely growing things. And the garden. And Anna's homemade curtains, which are awesome. And Anna sweeping all the fluff because her mum's coming.
No, it's the pool.
That's the Flop's being territorial. He's saying nobody allowed in here. This is the start of our garden. And of course, the chandelier. But yes, so that's everything that I can think of. The view in the morning.